I'm a supporter of community conservation, mainly because their focus is on the people who live in a place. They are the ones who have the wisdom to know, first of all, what they need. They need to live there and make a living. They know what their environment is like. They know what their animals and plants need. They are the best ones to figure out solutions to work in their area. And they're the ones who stay there in the long run, which it's not going to last if you don't have that staying power. So here's an example of what I'm trying to talk about. You know, if you were flying into a new city, who would you ask about where to go for a good restaurant? Would you ask somebody who's getting off the plane with you? Or would you ask somebody who lives there? And, you know, maybe they would even give you directions and show you how to get there. So that's the, you know, the kind of common sense thing about the people who live in a community who know it, and they know themselves, their needs, they know their environment and their wildlife. And they love their wildlife too.
I support community conservation because I met its founder, Dr. Rob Horwich, back in too long ago, over nearly 40 years ago. And I became very intrigued with the idea of working specifically with communities for the conservation of our natural resources, especially in lesser developed tropical countries, but also because Dr. Rob was even working in Southwest Wisconsin with colleagues to support conservation in those communities.
I support community conservation because they involve and encourage the community to be involved in saving the natural areas. And here at the community baboon sanctuary, they're doing a fabulous job of protecting the howler monkeys and other animals. And so the money is well used and well deserved.
My wife and I came to Belize many years ago and kind of stumbled on the sanctuary. And we stayed with some people there, we visited, and for us it just became private and personal. And also it was just to see the empowerment that it gives to people in the community. It's just a lot different than other charities that we give money to.
Hi, my name's Carolyn, and I've been supporting community conservation for many years. It all started because I knew Rob Horwich. We both studied howler monkeys, different species, but at an American Society of Primatologists meeting, he was talking about his new program, and at some point I started donating, and I always have felt like my money is going toward communities where they are actually working to help wildlife, preserve the natural habitat, and gain some benefit locally.
Originally, I started donating to community conservation because my uncle Robbie, what we called him, but Robert Horwich, was the founder of community conservation, and it's something I grew up hearing about. And I don't know if I donated growing up, but after he passed, my sister and I started donating, you know, because it was something that he created and we thought it was important. But after being in Belize, I would still continue to donate as a niece of the founder, but just hearing about who he worked with, I will absolutely continue donating because this work seems so important to the people who are living in the communities.
I'm Lisa Weinberg. I am Rob Horwich's niece, and so that's why I started supporting CC, because I grew up learning about, you know, the amazing projects that he was doing, and as a child was always really excited to hear about them. And now, having taken this trip to Belize, which has just been incredible, just in terms of my awareness about conservation and the learning that I have had, you know, through this experience about just conservation and communities. has been incredible. Learning from the locals, learning from the guides, and just from our group here has just been an incredible experience, and it has really motivated me to continue to contribute going forward, and to really talk with other people about my experience, encourage them to take a look as well.
I wanted to help wildlife, and this was a local organization that was helping other people help wildlife, not just sending money to some random place and hoping something gets done. This CC actually goes to the place and educates and asks people what they want to do to help their environment, and that was something unique that isn't found. I haven't found it in other organizations yet.
Community conservation is an organization I've been aware of for some time, ever since I was a graduate student really, and followed Rob Horwich as he moved from Brookfield up to Wisconsin, and really gave some form to what he'd always wanted to do, which is to really work at the grassroots level, so to speak, on conservation. So I followed from afar, and I became a donor in a small way as I became more aware of the organization as a place I could donate and support to. And I'm familiar with Central America, so I was also eager to support that. More recently, we upped our donorship because we thought that it was the kind of combination of conservation and human involvement that I thought really would work. And was happy to follow up on the suggestion that I might join the board. I really was very flattered by that, and now I'm a member of the board, and really hope to become more involved in a direct way in what community conservation does and can accomplish.
Okay, well, I'm involved with community conservation because I think that its mission, basically, in the first place, conservation, and in the second place, by communities, is the only way that it can be. And it's not the way that it's usually done. So for that reason, I think it's one of the very best uses of my time and energy and money in order to support this cause right here in Belize and around the world.